Not every game has to be a masterpiece. Is it me, or is this game a bit repetitive? New to games? Every game on Earth is repetitive. Ubisoft reached 2 million players after just 48 hours. I hope the haters enjoy this. Ubisoft stock has fallen after the release of Shadows. Games Radar, Ubisoft's best RPG to date. Google reviews, 2.6 stars. VG247 gave the game 100 out of 100, compared to Ghost of Tsushima, which only got 60 from them. But the comment starts with, there are problems with Assassin's Creed Shadows for sure, but it's a perfect 100? Many big YouTubers say it's the best Assassin's Creed of all time, yet many other big YouTubers say it's unacceptably bad and they can't complete it. Some say Ubisoft captured Japan's beauty, others say it spat on their heritage and history. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the drama that is Assassin's Creed Shadows. Often nowadays in gaming, we no longer get real reviews. We get one extreme or the other. It's either the greatest game of all time that has single-handedly saved the world and cured diseases, or it's the worst game ever released that is ruining lives and destroying humanity. The Assassin's Creed fans attack anyone who even slightly suggests there's areas for improvement, whereas those who dislike the game go out and make one-star reviews, despite never playing it. What a mess. So we know fans of Assassin's Creed games are going to be biased, and those who are against Ubisoft are going to be biased too. But what about those in the middle? Those who just generally want to know if this game's worth $70 during this economic hard time? Does it revitalize the series? Is it better than other gaming options out there? Well, today I hope that I can give you that answer. I can tell you right off the bat, this game is far from perfect. In this video, my goal is to give you the positives, the negatives, and then give you my opinion on what should have been done different for this game and Ubisoft in general. One thing that cannot be disputed is that Ubisoft are in a real bad place, financially and reputation-wise. Assassin's Creed Shadows is make or break for them. Believe it or not, they didn't end up here off the back of making dozens of masterpieces and luck just wasn't on their side. They created the problems that led them into this situation. You see, I have had many people message me saying, it's not fair to compare Assassin's Creed games to games like Witcher 3, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or Elden Ring. Not every game can be a masterpiece. See, I disagree. When Assassin's Creed was a series that was solely about being a assassin in a town, I would agree with that statement. But over time, Ubisoft looked at games like Skyrim, Witcher 3 and other successful open world RPGs and copied that formula to a T. As a result, the series' popularity shot up, introducing an entirely new crowd to the genre. Sales and income followed too, and even though old Assassin's Creed fans cried for a return to the old formula, Ubisoft kept making the open world blueprint instead. Eventually, they would cave and make Assassin's Creed Mirage. Look at this meme on the screen. This is from an Assassin's Creed fan club. So the entire fan base is now split in half. Those who loved the new formula and those who preferred the old. Mirage didn't sell well, and Ubisoft have reverted back to what they know makes the most money. But when you come into the RPG space, you will be compared to games in that space. And in this video, I will do that. And I will share my opinion on what Ubisoft games lack and what they could change in order to get their gaming series up to the standards of today's best rated games. So, without further ado, let's get into it and I will explain why Assassin's Creed Shadows is the biggest missed opportunity in gaming. Quick side note, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, please consider subscribing. I need just 988,400 subscribers to hit 1 million. Anyway, enough chatting, let's get into it. So, I want to start with the good. The most impressive thing is the world and the way it looks. From rolling hills to stunning vistas, bustling towns, active wildlife, this game is beautiful. I would argue its world is one of the best that I have ever seen. The amount of detail in each area is astonishing. There are so many unique buildings, wildlife creatures, foliage, furnishings. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. I played this on PlayStation 5, but I've run around this map like a madman, looking at all the sights, and it is breathtaking. Now, I love Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 due to its absolute attention to detail and handcrafted map, but Assassin's Creed Shadows does it almost just as well. I've seen waterfalls, rivers, streams, forests, ponds, and I generally think this whole map is handcrafted. Nothing outside of the outposts, more on that later, seems to have been copy and pasted. The graphics are absolutely stellar. One of the things I disliked about Valhalla is that so much was copied and pasted. Each town looked identical and reused assets. Here, it seems that they've avoided that entirely. The game can also be experienced in 4 seasons, which actually changes how the environment appears. So in this regard, I don't think it could have been done much better. I also loved the control of Naui as she zipped around buildings, crawled through the grass, scaled walls, and I felt like a true ninja. Yasuke, not so much, as he felt very tanky, made combat too easy, and could not barely climb a rock. He's no sneaky assassin, but as I said, Naui felt good to play as. I would argue this is possibly the best feeling Assassin's Creed game that I've played in recent times. The stealth mechanics of adding lighting as a factor to consider was a nice addition too. The skill tree has improved much from Valhalla as well, as it's far less cluttered. It makes sense, and the weapon selection and associated skill line is a big improvement. The accessibility settings are really great too. Ubisoft gives players the option to have the UI markers to guide them or turn them off to create a more explorative feeling, meaning that they've learned from player feedback about their cluttered AI of the past. They also have stealth difficulty settings, which means enemies can spot you on rooftops on very hard. Combat difficulty, including instant assassination, is there too, which is something I much prefer to have on. Essentially, you can really customize your experience based on what preferences you have, which is very much appreciated. Same with the voice acting, you can either have it all in Japanese or you can set with the English. They also added a base building mechanic, which was pretty fun. You can customize your entire hideout, placing buildings, furnishings and foliage to make it feel like you really are creating a hangout. This was a very cool approach and appreciated by many fans. The NPC facial expressions and hair are also much better than previous Assassin's Creed games, and overall I would say the graphics are a generational leap when you compare it to Valhalla. Also, the music was really nice. The background ambiance whilst I was out in the world was beautiful. So it looks better, it sounds better and feels better than previous Assassin's Creed open world RPG games. Right, let's get into the room for improvement section of the review. First of all, the open world. Remember how I said it was one of the most beautiful handcrafted worlds I've ever experienced? Well, that's true, but it is the most wasted potential I have ever seen. There is nothing to do in it. When I got to one of the large towns, I wondered what I could do. Are there any shops, any bars, any side quests? The answer is no to all. The town is there, but there is nothing to do in the town. NPCs generally stick to one idle animation, and the town is more window dressing than anything. It's like a simulation, a backdrop. Keep running from objective to objective and only glance at the scenery and it does the job, but if you look closer, it starts to get a little weird. So the town is there, you can go through it, you can enter almost all of the buildings, but there's no reason to. You cannot steal, you cannot pickpocket, you cannot kill NPCs, otherwise the game kicks you out. There are no mini-games, so there is nothing. You find a town, or a vista, and it makes no difference. The only thing you can do in this game really is the activities that they've laid out for you, or fight people. That's it, nothing outside. This is compounded by the poor activities you can find. So in the game you can find markers across the map with a question mark. Odyssey and Valhalla both had these, but generally you'd find something different. In Valhalla you might find a world boss, a dungeon or a secret quest. In Odyssey you might find an underground cave, an underwater temple or an NPC interaction. Basically, although Assassin's Creed games did not have the greatest points of interest, they were unique enough to make them worth seeking out. In Shadows, you find either a castle, a shrine, a meditation spot or a temple. There is nothing else. And you know the worst part? they all look identical, and they all have the same objectives. Find the pages, pray at the shrines, kill the samurais to open up the chest, press the buttons to meditate, or sneak up to the animal to paint a picture. They have a few tombs, but they're very short and very similar to one another. And that's it. So you get this giant open world map, handcrafted to perfection, so beautiful to explore, but with nothing to find. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It's like they spent 99% of their time building this gorgeous map and then 1% putting stuff in it. Let's just do that castle thing and we can like copy paste it and just like put 20 of those in it? It's the most boring thing I've ever experienced in terms of side content. And I've played Starfield. Like, come on guys. You've done the hard part. You've built the gorgeous map, the bustling towns. It's done. You've built it. Put something in it. One super well written side quest for each town. Maybe a mini game at a bar. Maybe different shops. You could have one that sells clothes, one that sells furniture, a stable where you can buy horses. But no, you get one shop in an entire city full of shops and they just happen to sell everything. So why build the rest of the town? Honestly, it beggars belief. Why not have some well written side quests? In fact, let's talk about the side quests. What if I asked you to listen to this line in my video? What if I asked you to listen to this line in my video again? And what if I asked you to listen to this line in my video again? What if I repeated it 100 times? Are you tempted to click off the video? Why? Because it's mind-numbingly repetitive. Well, that's how I felt when this farmer asked me to help him with bandit trouble in the area. I was thinking, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna have to go to a camp and fight a group of enemies and save his farm. Nope. He wanted me to go and kill bandits in the general area. How many, you might ask? You guessed it, 100. Like, that is the most fetch questy quest ever, and all the side quests are like this. Find me 100 of this, kill me 100 of that. It's 2025. Fetch quests were fine in games like Skyrim back in 2011, but we're in a world now where Witcher 3, Cyberpunk and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 exist. In fact, Final Fantasy 16 too. Most every game that's an RPG has side quests now that's copied the Witcher formula. Basically, when Witcher 3 came out in 2015, they changed gaming forever when it introduced side quests that were as well written and unique as most games' main quests. It changed side quests forever and raised standards, and most developers have upped their standards too. These type of fetch quests are barely in games today, and if they are, it's a side dish to the main quest, the side quests and the activities. It's bonus content. In this game, we have this giant open world with nothing in it but these fetch quests, repetitive tasks and reused assets. Honestly, Ubisoft, so much wasted potential, especially when you consider that they had all of this in Odyssey, unique points of interest and detailed side quests. It's like they've gone backwards. If any Ubisoft devs are watching this and you helped build the map, well done to you. Your writing team, if they even have one, let you down big time. Which leads me nicely to the story. Honestly, me and Assassin's Creed Shadows started off well. I played some of Yasuke's story, and then some of Naui's story, and I was enjoying it. Great voice acting, nice plot line, the characters had depth, and then as soon as the prologue finished, they Ubisoft me. The story went from a linear, focused plot with emotion to one giant open world fetch quest. I'm not kidding, there are like 50 people that you need to assassinate, and it's just like, go get them. It has no build up. Sometimes you just run up to them and there's no backstory. So, example, I went to a quest marker and snuck in a castle. The same castle as always, by the way. And then I found one of the main bad guys from the story. I fought him, and he had no unique movesets from any other NPCs. I killed him, and then a cutscene played out, where now he's standing over him like, you bastard. But to me, I felt nothing. Again, back in 2011, you could have a poor main story in a giant open world RPG, but nowadays, we expect better. Especially when you consider Ghost of Tsushima, which came out 7 years ago, was miles better. I think it's the fact that they try to tell their main story and scatter it across the map. It kills momentum and makes them bloat the whole story. An example is like, I went up to this monk and I needed him to help me join my team, but he's like, oh, I can't do that because I need to go and get this statue, can you go get it? So I had to go to an outpost and get this statue and bring it back, and it's just like, there's no need for this. It's just adding steps on top of the story just to make it last longer and give me a reason to go across the map. Anyway, the story and subplots were really not gripping at all. And then we have the combat. So it's your typical Ubisoft combat where nothing's really changed. Blue icon means block, red means dodge. Enemies take so many hits to go down. The game throws like 50 enemies at you in each castle. It's very, very grindy. If you fight an enemy below your level, you'll pretty much one-shot them. If they're 2 levels above you, they take hundreds of hits to go down, and one misstep and you're dead. It's grindy, but not in a good way. Again, this combat was fine back in 2011, but standards have gone up. Ghost of Tsushima had some of the best combat I've seen in this type of genre, but then you've got Sekiro, Elden Ring, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, heck, even Avowed tried to do something different. Ubisoft have been using this same bland combat for so long, and honestly, I just got so angry. There was a point where I had like 6 people fighting me and they were 2 levels above me, but I was just trying to do this castle so I could just mark it off my checklist, and they're all coming at me and I'm hitting them like 100 times and it takes so long to break them down. I'm just getting so frustrated with it because it's like, this isn't adding anything. Like, it's just so frustrating. So look, let's cut to the chase. Is this game worth $70? Well, it's actually tough for me to say, and let me explain why. First of all, I've heard people tell me you can't compare Assassin's Creed games to other open world games like Witcher 3, or not every game has to be a masterpiece. Yes, you do. When you review a game, a masterpiece is the standard, right? So if a masterpiece is a 10 out of 10, and a game is half as good as that, it's a 5 out of 10. You can't just say, well, it's not fair to compare it to any other game, otherwise, how can that be a review? A review is a breakdown of a game's strengths and weaknesses, and the score compares it to the games that set the bar the highest and the games who set it the lowest. Is it a Baldur's Gate 3 or is it a Golem? That's the standards that we set. Ubisoft took the Assassin's Creed series into this open world genre because they saw the money that it made. It made much more in this format, and that's why they've made Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, and now Shadows. They played Witcher 3, and if you've played Odyssey, you'll know that game copied Witcher 3 stride for stride. They saw the market and got into the genre, and it made them a fortune. They tried the old formula again with Mirage, but fans didn't like it, and it didn't sell well. So, Assassin's Creed is now an open world RPG game, and as a result, if they want the money that comes with that genre, then they gotta accept that the standards in this arena are high. Baldur's Gate 3, Witcher 3, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Elden Ring, Red Dead Redemption 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Cyberpunk, Skyrim. This genre is stacked with absolute bangers. They offer so much. This is what you're competing with and being compared to. So, when you copy and paste the same boring objective all over the map, you gotta accept that some fans in this genre are gonna call you lazy. None of those other games did that, so why did you? Assassin's Creed Shadows has a worse open world, worse writing, worse side quests, worse world activities, and worse combat than all of those games. Which is a damn shame because its actual open world appearance rivals all of them. The world looks more beautiful than Skyrim's, but it's somehow more shallow, and I'm comparing that to a game that's 14 years old now, and it's notorious for being shallow. It had a lot more, so why don't I just condemn it? Because although it isn't a 10 out of 10 game, it doesn't mean it's the worst game ever. It might have its issues, but as I stated earlier, it has some good points as well. Another thing, although I'm stating that I hate the checklist copy-paste activities, that's a me problem. I've read many defenders of the game, and they say, I love Ubisoft's design and checklist setup. It's my junk food. It is my happy place, and I find it relaxing just going around the map, ticking off things like a to-do list. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. If you enjoy the game and you enjoy this formula, then you'll love this game. I'm an RPG nerd. I love depth, substance, role-playing, and a game like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is the type of game that I adore. It gives me everything that I want in a game. I'm the type to turn up the volume, turn off the lights, and get lost in the game's world for hours. I like to spend time at the bar in Red Dead Redemption 2. I like to sit and read books in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I like to decorate my house in Skyrim. But not everybody wants that. Some people just want the lighter experience. They want to be able to just run around and tick things off, fight everybody. Some even put on YouTube videos whilst they play some games. That's absolutely fine, but this is my way of explaining why so many big YouTubers who love RPGs are really not enjoying this game, yet many other gamers are. Just a difference in taste and preference. Neither person is wrong. We like what we like and we don't what we don't. My channel, myself, I am an RPG fanatic, so that is why my review is more scathing than someone who is dedicated to Assassin's Creed games. They prefer that formula, and it's important both types of games exist for both types of audiences. The reason for my frustration is because it is wasted potential in my eyes. The open world is one of the best I've ever seen in a game, and its content is the polar opposite, so bland and copy-paste or fetch-questy. Imagine if the writers from Warhorse, CD Projekt Red or Larian Studios were handed this open world and asked to fill it in, adding characters, side quests and activities. I generally think we'd be looking at one of the greats. I just don't know why Ubisoft never do this. I just feel like time is the most valuable thing that you can give someone. And if Ubisoft can't be bothered to make unique content or well-written side quests, then why should I spend hours of my time clearing out the same copy-paste bandit outpost for tens of hours? I just feel like Ubisoft doesn't respect their players' time. Keep them busy, give them stuff to do, don't worry about the quality, just give them a lot of it. And Ubisoft have no excuse. You've got some of the most talented devs when it comes to world creation. Why not hire a few writers to put something in the world? Ubisoft have got one of the largest budgets in gaming, one of the biggest marketing campaigns, the largest team and established IPs. They have more than almost every other gaming studio, and I think we should expect better. Warhorse Studios had nothing 8 years ago. They had to go and get crowdfunding to even get enough money to make Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. They should not be able to come in and outshine a studio like Ubisoft in that short of a time. That is why I feel Assassin's Creed Shadows is the biggest missed opportunity in gaming. And don't get me started on the microtransactions. First of all, they shouldn't be in a single player game, but here they are, and it's always pay to win stuff, like don't want to do 10 bandit camps? Buy the gear outright. Don't want to climb 50 towers to unlock the points of interest? Pay to unlock the entire map now. Don't want to spend hours scavenging for certain materials to build up your base? Just buy all the materials now. It's like they almost designed the game to be a boring slog of a grind in hopes that you'll pay to avoid it. I don't know, man, it just rubs me the wrong way. So let's get to the point. Is Assassin's Creed Shadows a great RPG or one of the best games of our time? Absolutely not. Is it a good entry as an Assassin's Creed game? Absolutely. Like I said, it looks better, it sounds better, and feels better than Valhalla. I intend to finish the game, and despite its flaws, I can tell they got a lot right. The world is beautiful and meticulously handcrafted. The graphics are some of the best I've ever seen. The handling of Naui and the stealth mechanics are some of the best that I've seen from an Assassin's Creed game, at least recently. The base building is a fun addition, and you have a lot of ways to customize your experience. That being said, when compared to today's RPGs, the world feels empty, uninspired, and repetitive. The writing and quests feel the same, and the combat gets boring after a while. Personally, I would give this game a 7 out of 10 when compared to other open world games available. When comparing it to previous Assassin's Creed open world games, I would give it a solid 8. If you loved Origins, Odyssey and Valhalla, then you're gonna love this. a lot of the complaints I have about this game carry over to those titles too. It's better than Valhalla, but it's not as good as Odyssey. But if you're enjoying this game, don't let me ruin it for you. We all have different opinions, and that's the beauty of gaming. It's an art. Art will always create different reactions from different types of gamers. It would be a boring world if we all just agreed on everything. I just feel Ubisoft can do better. Assassin's Creed Shadows is fine, but I think they should be aiming for better than that. Anyway, that's it for this one. Just a quick heads up, my next video will be about Ubisoft's future, so keep an eye out. I also mentioned in this video about how important time is. It's the most valuable thing you can give someone, so the fact you're still watching this video now honestly means the world, so thank you so much for your time. But what do you guys think? Will you play Assassin's Creed Shadows? If you are playing it, how are you finding it? If you love it, tell me why, and if you hate it, tell me why as well. I really want to hear from some Assassin's Creed fans and get their perspective. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please give it the thumbs up, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I'm Av Gaming, where we do video game analysis, identifying what makes great games great and what could make good games great as well. Thanks for watching. Av out.